Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, home at Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. And yes, you are right. Dominic Solanke, welcome to Spurs. It's all but done. We haven't got the here we go from Fabrizio Romero yet, but I have been informed by my own source and by a few people who I trust completely that this deal is done. He's coming into Spurs. It's a deal worth £57 million, but it's a 30 million upfront payment with so many add-ons and so many over the next couple of years. I'll wait to get more information on what his year's contract. I think it will be a 3 or 4 year contract on it, guys. But look, it's divided the fan base, this one. It really has. And if I be honest with you, I feel a little bit underwhelmed. But the more I look into him, the more I look at Solanke's career, the more I've looked into his stats, which I'm going to bring you tonight more on the podcast, which we're live at 9. The more I'm thinking he's more of an Ange player than Tony would be. And I think with Ivan Toney, though he is a great striker, he is probably a better striker. He carries a lot of baggage with him. Solanke doesn't. He's a young man. He fits Ange's system very well. Don't forget, people think Oli's had one good year in the Premier League. He scored 29 goals in the Championship in the year that Bournemouth got promoted. He can score goals. I think it's 77 goals and over 100 something appearances for Bournemouth. I think 31 of them are assists. So for me personally, the more I look into it, the more I look at the deal, the more I think it's probably going to end up being a good deal for Spurs. Though I do feel underwhelmed because we could be going after other players, and I just don't know. I don't know. Is this an Ange signing or is this an option signing? And as much as we all want Ange to do well and we all want Ange to be successful at Tottenham, this just feels like an option signing. And for whatever reason, we've got the Solanke deal over the line quicker than we did with the Toney deal. Whatever Brentford want too much, we were burnt with them last year with the goalkeeper before we went and got Vicario. And everyone's saying, why are we going for Vicario? He's a young keeper. A lot of people thought we were mad. What happens turns out to be a great signing. Van de Ven, another great signing. We bought a lot of long players last season, turned out to be brilliant signings for us and worked well under an Ange system. Johnson, he will come good, and I will back Johnson to the very end. And I will do, because I think he's my type of player and he will come good. Werner's not everyone's cup of tea, but he does his bit. And for me, I think Solanke will fit into an Ange system more better. And I think he will give you more than an Ivan Toney for me. And I really do. And I think we ain't finished yet. I've been told we're going to get 3 players in, another 2 in before the end of the window's closed. And I think Tottenham may surprise a few people. And I know it's going to be a lot of doom and gloom with some people around this Solanke deal. And I get their point. I do understand what they're saying. They're right. It is a bit underwhelming. But I think he may surprise us. But it's not what I think, guys. It's what you think as well. Let's see what you guys, a lot of you have popped in. So please hit that like button and subscription button if you can. And What's the Point was in very early. He was in early. I mean, he gets the trophy. He gets the gold medal for being the first in. So pick up What's the Point. He says the biggest waste of money in Premier League history. And now we're stuck with 2 of the most average Premier League strikers in the last 10 years. Do not agree with you. We could have signed Dovac, who got 24 goals in La Liga last season. Solaz, who got 23 goals last season, by first and second top scorers in the Spanish La Liga. Yeah, I get your point. But would they have done well in the Premier League? And that's the problem. We've bought other strikers who have done brilliantly in other European leagues, but would they have done well in the Premier League? And the answer to that is no. The Premier League is a fast league. La Liga, Serie A, All the other leagues in Europe, the Bundesliga, play at a slower pace, give you more time. Do you know Harry Kane will score goals anywhere? But for me, they may have done brilliantly. Who knows? Who knows? I just, yeah, I get it. It's an underwhelming signing. I do get it. I do understand where people are coming from. I do feel, I'll be honest with you, I feel a bit underwhelmed myself, but look, he's a Spurs player and we've got to get behind him now, and that's all we can do. We could have also signed the Boniface or opened that, sorry for ruining their names, two of the best strikers in the Bundesliga last season, along with Gurvic, Ivan Toney as an England international. And so, yeah, Ivan Toney, I think we could have signed. He is Premier League experience. He knows how to play in the Premier League. I suppose if you're buying a European striker, I suppose to come with a bit of defenders take about 6 months to learn how you play. So I suppose if you're a good striker, you're going to score goals anywhere. You're going to score goals in any league. But we've been burnt with strikers we've bought in the past, and we got lucky with Harry Kane. Let's be honest, we got very lucky with Harry Kane. Harry Kane just fell on our lap, and he turned out to be the greatest striker of his generation, not the greatest striker of all time in Spurs. In my view, I think Jimmy Greaves is the greatest striker Spurs will ever have, but Harry Kane is up there. I know he's our leading top goal scorer, but I think Jimmy Greaves is a better player. And you can't say this player is better than that player. It's different eras, different times. They were playing on different pitches. Harry Kane was playing on perfect pitches. Can you imagine if Jimmy Greaves was the playing pitches that Harry Kane played on? How many more goals would he have scored? Hundreds. So in my view, different strikers for different eras. So Harry Kane was a great striker for his era. He was a great striker and he fell into our lap. He came through our youth academy. We were lucky. But any other striker that we've bought in from Europe, we have not been very successful with. Big up to Get Up. He says, Stanley Levy, get out of my club and take Ange Postecoglou, John Lang. I don't agree with you 100% on Ange Postecoglou in that. I'm sorry, what's the point? I do not agree. Ange will take us to the promised land. John Lang has got man. Do you know, doing transfers isn't like going on to Football Manager or EA Sports. You can't just do them like that. They take time to do. And not every transfer is going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not every player we buy, everyone's going to like him. Johnson gets slagged because of the price tag. It's not Johnson's fault we had to pay 50 million for him from Nottingham Forest last summer. It's not the player's fault. And he hasn't performed, and rightly so, he gets criticised. But if Solanke comes in and scores you 20, 25 goals this season, what we're going to be saying, he's going to have the last laugh, and he could well do that. Good afternoon, Coy's 56 million. Yeah, it is a lot of money, but you're paying the same, probably a bit more for Ivan Toney. And he comes with the baggage where Solanke doesn't. And the more you look into the stats, he was first for last season. He seemed to be in higher stats than Ivan Toney. And I'm not saying Ivan Toney wouldn't have been a great player for us. He probably would have been. Who knows? We could still go for Ivan Toney. We could get both of them. We don't know what this transfer window is going to do. But I think out of the two, I don't. It's a hard one. Out of the two, and I keep coming back, I'm underwhelmed by the signing. Yes, I am underwhelmed. But I think out of the two, I think I would have picked Solanke more than Ivan Toney because of the baggage part of it. If that's just my opinion. What's the point? Said Pedro Neto signs for Chelsea, 54 million. For me, he was too injury prone for us. So if he wants to go and play for Chelsea and play for them and get injured and get paid how many months paying for them, good luck to him. Doesn't want to play for us, I don't care where he goes, so fair play to him. Neto gone Chelsea, he has. Let's sink in. We're now stuck with two of the words. I don't agree. Sorry. The biggest waste is 65 million. It's 57 million. So that is the transfers. 57 million with 30 million up front and the rest on add-on. So it's not 65 million. Big up to Daniel Zito. Since when was it confirmed? Well, I had it confirmed for me earlier this morning that he was done. So that's why I went now. And I've got a bit on it. So this is what I got given about 5 seconds ago before I came online. Solanke dispersed, pretty much done, just finalising the payment details. We know it's a 30 million upfront and the rest in installments, just finalising those details. So basically, it's near enough done. Exactly 100%. What's the point? So who's next in? Great question. I think Eze, I think we need to go and get him, but he may be going to Man City. And if players don't want to come to Tottenham, we cannot force players to come to Spurs. We just can't. We can't hold players to ransom. You're coming to play for us. And I'm sorry, I just look, we get who we get. The whole window for me has been so underwhelmed. I'm so fed up with this window. After last window where we got players in early this season, and if I was Ange, I'd be rightly pissed the way we've been doing business. I don't know. It's one of these windows where I'm fed up with it now. Not every other team's doing business, but we had an advantage this window and we haven't taken the advantage for whatever reason. And whatever reason, we haven't taken the opportunity. We have to get Eze. Do you know what, Daniel? I do agree, but I think he will go to Man City for whatever reason. He will go there, and Eze to go to Man City and just sit there on the bench and do sod all. I mean, you look at the players that have gone there. Look at Jack Grealish. He went for 100 million, and he hasn't done a lot. Do you know? Seriously, he's just sitting on the bench. I think it's a great retirement home to go to for young players. 63 million for Dombele, waste of money. I agree. 60 million for Richarlison, too much. I've always said Richarlison was a big fish in a big fish in the small pond at Everton, but he's a small fish in the big pond at Tottenham. Has not worked out for him. It's not 65 million. What's the point? It's 57 million. 30 million up front plus under. So it's not 65 million. So they haven't paid the asking price. The release 65 million was his release clause. Anyway, Chete to yeah, I think that deal's not out of the water either. I think that isn't out of thinking. So as Carl says, it's not off the board either. It's not. Big up to Carl. Afternoon to Colin Cross. Afternoon from Sunny Wales. Big up, Mr. Cross. How are you doing? Our Celtic cousin. We'll just have to back Solanke if he gets done. Hopefully, we'll be a massive success. Yeah, exactly. Big up to Nick Fradley. What's the point? That's why it is nowadays. Yeah, it is. Big up to the Big D. Haven't seen you for a long while. So where have you been hiding? Chelsea Nabneto. I was hoping his hamstring goes first game of the season. So same here too. Where do Spurs look for another direct winger? I agree with Carl. I think Chete from Juventus is where we go. But I hope his hamstring does go first game of the season. And if he doesn't want to come to Tottenham, and these players don't want to come to Spurs and don't like what Angie's doing, then feck him. Sorry, I need to get better headphones. Feck him. We don't want players that don't want to be here. We want players that want to play for Ange Postecoglou. So feck him. Any other rumours? We've got Chete. There's a few, but there'll be more on the podcast tonight. Brian, so tune in. I've got a few for you. Hit the like. Thank you so much, the Big D. Very kind of you, sir. I'm all in for him, Dermo. Do you know what? He's a Spurs player, so I'm going to back him all the way. I think Eze will go to City, Brian. I think he will. And I think it's a waste of time going to Man City, personally. Why you're going there, A, for the money, B, for the Champions League. That's all you go. They can offer Champions League and win trophies. I don't know. And this Man City thing as well that's rolling on. What's going to happen with them? Are they going to get points deductions? Are they going to get relegated? What are you going to do then? Is Pep going to stay in Man City for next season? And then Play's going to play if they get demoted to the Championship of League One. Who knows? Big up to Wembley One. Afternoon, boys. Chelsea acting like a proper club. I don't agree. Chelsea acting like a bunch of clowns in getting Neto signed, whilst the latest rabble of complacency, incompetent so-called football operation that Levy has hired were jolly and incorrect. I don't think Chelsea are well run. I know Tequila doesn't want to. Tequila's not. He's not a happy man at all. Tequila is not a happy bunny. I can tell you. I look, for me, I think Chelsea are acting like a bunch of clowns. They're buying so many players, and they're going to be in bigger trouble, FFP and PSI next season, than they already are. I think Chelsea are Chelsea. I'd love to see their team bus for next season. Their team bus is going to be massive. All the play and the player warm up's going to be. I've seen some funny videos on X as well with Chelsea's warm up. It's blooming hilariously funny. Big up to Terry White. Big up Dermot. Big up Terry. Thank you so much for joining in. We've got Colin. Good match for Brennan. He used the big seafood. Yeah. And look, Johnson will come good. I will back Johnson all the way, and I'm not going to stand out in that. Daniel Zito, this is such a shit. I get it. I do get it. I understand how people are feeling. I really do. We all want the best players. We all do. And we all want Tottenham to go out and spend 60, 80, 100, 150 million. And sadly, we're not that sort of a club to go and do that. And look, we got to believe that Ange is a player that Ange wants at the club. You got to believe that. Maybe call me deluded. Maybe call me I'm a little bit cynical, but I think Ange had Ivan Toney number one in Zillit, and these were one that Solanke was another player as an option. Whatever happened with the Toney deal, maybe Ange didn't want Ivan Toney at Tottenham because of the baggage, probably because of his attitude. And maybe he likes Solanke's attitude. We know Ange likes players that will come in and work hard for the team. Maybe Ivan Toney, though he is a slightly better striker, maybe his baggage has got in the way. We do not know because we're not privy to these talks. We're all guessing. We're all sort of looking on the outside in. We can't be in on the inside conversations of what Ange wants, what Ange doesn't want. We're all jumping on the bandwagon, and I think everyone has a right to their opinion. I think everyone has a right to what they think. And where this signing, I would agree, is underwhelming, I also would put it out there. We don't know what's going on in the private chats between Ange and the transfer team. So we don't know. Ange said today in the press conference about Richie moving, well, it hasn't come from me. So, do you know what I mean? They wanted Raya last season. Everyone was saying the same thing when Vicario came in. Vicario turned out to be a great buy. I mean, Column did the stats in them last season when we broke Vicario was coming. Same sort of messages were coming through. Again, Levy buying the cheaper option. Van der Ven, Levy buying the cheaper option. They turned out to be great buys. You know, we've got Porro, we've got Destiny, we've got the best back five we've had in a long time. We've Vicario, Destiny, Romero, Van der Ven, Rudu as well is in there. Rudu can play in any position, left back. Van der Ven can play at left wing back. Rudu can play at centre back. It's transfers are not as easy as everyone thinks they are, and where everyone has a right to be angry, everyone has a right to be frustrated. I think we got to trust Ange and what he's trying to build at Tottenham. And I think it's all going to have to, it all depends on the start of the season, where the fan base goes with Ange. If we have a great start and Solanke's banging them in, then I think all of this noise will go away because Solanke will hit the ground running. If he doesn't hit the ground running, if he doesn't start scoring goals and we don't start well, then it's all going to start up again because this is Ange's third transfer window now. So this is basically his team. So look, I'm Ange all the way. I've seen what he can do at Celtic. I've seen what he's done. I know what he's done at Celtic. And everyone's gone, the Scottish League is different to the Premier League. Yeah, it is different. You still got to beat what's in front of you up there. But I know what Ange can do. Ange is a good manager. Ange would bring players and improve them. And if Solanke comes in and Ange can get the best out of him, he hits the ground running, a lot of this noise will go away. And if we start well, a lot of this noise will go away. But if we don't start well and he doesn't start banging in the goals, then every fan has a right to say, well, hang on a minute here. Why did we pay this money for him? I think we've got to give the guy a chance. We'll see what he does. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting. We have to get a great start. I think for me, we have to see what happens. But look, Daniela, as well, I know you're frustrated. We're all frustrated. We're all very, very frustrated. We all are frustrated. And we're frustrated because we haven't won anything in years. And it's frustration because we all want to be successful. We all want the best for our club. We're all fans at the end of the day. We're all Tottenham fans. We all want the best for our club. But we get frustrated because we've seen what's happened over the last 20-odd years. We've seen managers come and go. We've seen the best managers in the world come and then go. We've seen players come and go that haven't really worked out for us. And we keep going back to Pochettino's era. I think Ange can do better than Pochettino. I think Ange will win a trophy with us this season. I really do think we can win a cup this year. I think we can qualify for the Champions League and win a trophy. I think we could do well in Europe as well. It's all about the squad Ange wants to build. Managers need time to build squads, to build times. But the Premier League today does not give you that time. If you're not successful within 18 months of being at a club, you could be out the door. And that's the problem. We as fans demand success so quickly, and we have a right to demand success so quickly. We really do demand success so quickly. We have a right to. And with all the Levy, look, I'm not a Levy out person. I'm not a Levy in person either. But if he does well, I say he's done well. And I can understand the frustrations of Tequila and many people in the chat. I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it. I do get it. We have to believe that Ange will succeed. And Tequila said it to me. And big up Tequila. I didn't think you were coming on because I know you weren't well. That's why I didn't send you the link, man. I hope you're feeling better. Look, I know you're not happy with this. I'm a bit underwhelmed, but when you look at the stats and what people are saying in the chat, it is a better signing for me because of the baggage Tony would bring and maybe the attitudes. But I'm on the. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're lowering our standards. I said this to you privately. I wasn't going to come on, but to be honest, because we finally, got an interaction. I am a bit ill, guys, so I apologise if my voice is a bit croaky. I think we shouldn't be lowering our standards. I've heard even our own Boris bring out stats and stuff, and I'm not saying he's the worst player in the world, but I think I want people to be honest with themselves that if I would have told you a year ago, after selling Harry Kane, that his replacement eventually would be Dominic Solanke, you would have laughed, like I would have, and like other fans are laughing at us right now, for the record.
I don't think they are laughing at us.
Come on, you saw Rebel in the chat. They are laughing at us.
Well, look, it's down to them on it's down to them what people think, and I think you have a right to be angry. I think you have a right to be upset. Maybe I have a different probably mindset to you, Tequila. Maybe I'm a bit more used to it. Maybe I'm numb to it. I think could be a word. I'm probably numb to all this carry on because I've seen it all before. But you have a right to be angry. You have a right to be upset. I think you're right. I think Ange has to have a hell of a start to the season. Now, I said if Solanke starts banging in the goals at the start of the season, Tequila, and Tottenham start well, would that appease you as a fan?
I think Ange has to start well, or I fear for his future. And that's not me. Before anyone jumps on me, because I realise I'm probably in the minority here.
Can I say you're very much Ange in, by the way, and I know
yeah,
you are.
I was about to say,
yeah,
and I'll also be honest. I'm not that impressed with Ange so far. I think he's done okay. I don't think he's the next Messiah. But as I said to Dermo the other day, no matter which manager it is, I think they all deserve at least 3 seasons to get their point across and to build their teams. Which, by the way, other than Pochettino, we haven't given any other manager 3 years. So let that sink in.
I did say that actually, was to say managers only get 18 months out a month.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. And I was saying that before you came in, actually, Tequila, that it isn't long. Do you know, you managers years ago, Fergie got 5 years before he got it right at United.
Yeah, and he was on the chopping block a couple of times, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, look, I'm look, my sort of thing of it, Tequila, right, is I'm behind Ange, behind Spurs. When he becomes a Spurs player, I will support him. Yeah. If he doesn't play well, I don't know what this Gaz Robinson means. Stage 2.
Can one of the mods remove him? We know who that is. It's the same dude it was before, just using a different name.
You sure?
Whoever you are, by the way, you need to get yourself a life, mate.
You sure?
Yep. Why would he be writing the same thing? It's obviously dude. It's the same account.
Yeah.
So if Wayne, if you could please remove him, cheers, bro.
Yeah, Carl's in the chat. I'm just in my I don't know. Boris saying just to call people. We're not going to call anyone out. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but just call people out who say we should have signed Goranakis, who only scored 22 goals in the championship before he went to Sporting. Solanke had those numbers in the championship. Everyone calm. Look, the championship's not an easy league either, but the Premier League is another level, isn't it? To be fair, Tequila, the Premier League is the highest level. So I think any player that scores in the Premier League is a good striker. I think he done well last season, but do you feel? Look, I'm going on this. We don't know what talks have gone on in the background, do we? We don't know what's gone on privately. We can only assume, and it's our right to assume. It's our right to question the club. It's our right to question Levy. It's our right to question Ange, especially on transfers. But do you feel Ivan Toney's baggage held him? Was one of the reasons why we didn't go for him?
I imagine they probably weighed up the whole Ivan Toney thing, and we've talked about Toney before, and he wasn't even one of our first choices either, because of the baggage he had and because of his perceived attitude. And I do think he's got a bit of an attitude, and maybe that was the reason. Because I think he is a better player than Solanke. I think not everyone. I've heard some people not agree. But I think a lot of people will probably say he's a better footballer. But Solanke obviously doesn't carry that baggage. And obviously Ange cares about keeping the dressing room, which, of course, I understand. Why would you not? So that obviously worked against Toney. Apparently Arsenal were in for him as well. And apparently he pissed them off as well. So maybe we should like him for that, Dermo. I don't know. But
I don't know.
It's... look, I didn't particularly want Toney either. We've ended up with Solanke. I will want the boy to do well. I'm not going to wish him failure. Why would I?
No, exactly.
But I felt this way about Richie, and people again might disagree with me, but I felt that I've been proven right about Richie.
Richie, for me, look, I've said it from day one, Tequila, and I think you me agreed on this. Richie was a big fish in a small pond at Everton. He was the main man. And he's a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah, he was bought as a backup for Kane, and as a backup for Kane, I thought we paid too much, but I didn't have a problem for him having that role.
We paid too much for him.
Yeah, but what happened, of course, is we sold Kane, and then we let
Mm.
Richie become more or less the main striker, him and Sonny,
Yeah.
and we know Sonny's better on the wing. So that's when it was like, no, he's not for where we want to be. He's not he's not particularly a starter. He's somebody, you know. He's in my mind, he's the backup.
Mm. Yeah.
So
no, I get it. I get it.
I would view Solanke. See, if we had another striker, Dermo, who was really good, and you said to me, "We're bringing in Solanke," not for that fee, that fee's still crazy to me. But if you said we're bringing in Solanke for 30 million, right, and he's going to be a squad player or a backup player, then I'd be much more forgiving and much more like, "All right, then that's okay, fine." But we're probably going to make him our main guy.
We don't know that. That's the thing.
Well, for that money, surely, Dermo.
Maybe I'm numb to it now. Look, I'm probably numb to it. I do like this one from Mike Zappa. I do find the Levy out stuff, some people really funny, and this one actually does make me chuckle. I must admit, it's a good one. It's one of the best ones I've seen, to be fair. I do like. I big up to Mike. I haven't seen you before. Please hit the like button and subscription button.
Dermo, look, there's nothing you or I can do, or anyone, Levy in, Levy out. There's nothing we individually can do about it. So either you make a joke and you have a laugh and you just have to accept it. That's all we can do, all of us, no matter our stance.
That's all we can do. We should have spent the Kane money on a striker like averaging 20 goals a season like Martinez. Well, how do we know these strikers would have done well in the Premier League? We don't. That is the question. How much money have we spent on European strikers and they haven't performed when we bought them?
They were all playing behind Kane, weren't they?
No, but this is before Kane got here. Do you know?
Well,
we were lucky to get Harry Kane. Harry Kane fell in our lap, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
we were. Lucky.
We have had we've had good ones and we've had bad ones. You know how much I love Berbatov and I loved Kino and I loved Defoe, but no, we've had our Redondo, whatever his name, the Spanish guy, who was a massive flop for us. We paid a lot of money for him.
The Russian fella,
Pavlyuchenko. Yeah, because we bought Pavlyuchenko after he had a good. He played well for Russia. I think he was either the World Cup or one of the Euros, and we bought him more or less based off his performances for Russia. So we've had duds before. Is Solanke another dud? I honestly don't. I don't know if I don't. This is what I mean. I don't know if he's a one-season wonder. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's done, but I think we got ahead of Fab again. Tequila again. You know.
Yeah, go on, say his line, Dermo. I know you'll love his line.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it. We have to think of our own line.
We need our own slogan.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Tequila is here. Solanke is our level. To be fair, hopefully he will have been improvement on Richarlison. Probably true. Big up to Terry. We don't know if Solanke is a waste of money yet. He can turn up and just click and bang in the goals. Exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah.
No kid is going to spend 10 million on Dominic Solanke on Football Manager, Dermot. Wayne says, is Solanke a done deal? Yep. As for Johnson, he just needs patience, times, and confidence. Exactly. There's so many people have come in. This is mental. Really is mental.
It's because we've finally got the striker we've been looking for, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I was being sarcastic.
Tequila's going to be great on the podcast tonight.
I'm going to be on an island by myself. It's going to be like me versus the world. I'm there, innit?
I've done a little bit for the podcast tonight, Tequila. I've done a little bit of facts over the last 5 transfer windows for you, and I've done a bit of figuring.
Goody! Thank you, Dermo. I'll eat up all that stuff up. Don't worry.
Everyone's saying it's 56, 57 million, but no one realises it's 30 million this season. So all you calm down saying we're using all the Kane money. We ain't. We're not. It is only 30 million this season.
Hold on. Whoever said that? Do you think we got the Kane money all up front? Do you? Most transfers are done via installment.
Yeah, we all know that.
So that comment. Sorry, that comment doesn't mean anything. Sorry, bro.
No, but we've only spent 30 million we've only spent 30 million this season for him.
But he's talking about the Kane money, but the Kane money is also paid under all transfers. And that's the reason why we didn't go in for Eze, right?
No, we did get majority of that up front. Tequila.
Did we get the majority of the Kane money up front?
Yeah, we did. We actually did. That's not done in installment. We've got the majority of that up front.
Well, most transfers, as you know, are done via installments, brother.
We've got 80. I think, what was it? 100 million went for. We've got 90 million, I think, up front, or 80 million up front. So I will double check that. I will double check that. Maybe you're right, Tequila. I will double check that after stream. Wayne Bonner says, "Don't want Tony. My stance will never change on that. If it's done, then give Solanke time to see how he fits in." I think there's some some fans are going to see it that way. Other fans are going to be not happy with it. It's down to them. This season, it's 30 million. Take Emerson money out of it, and you're looking at 13 million the first year. If he comes in, you have to support the player. Me and Tequila will, but me and Tequila have our opinions, and we're entitled to them, and we're right to have them. Wayne says, I want quality within the team every window, but in case of ways the team system taxes, we won't get Eze. Eze's going to Man City, and I think that's a waste of time, him going to Man City, to be fair.
Ask Calvin Phillips how that works for him.
Yeah, exactly. Point I was trying to make earlier. Dermot, you have a right to let go and get really angry. What's the point?
No,
I wasn't saying that because of his
name. I know. What's the point? No, to be honest, mate, I don't mind getting angry with it, and I don't think you do, because you and me, I can tell by, we're quite jaded, and and I understand why we are. But Dermo, I don't like seeing Dermo. Believe it or not, I don't like seeing Dermo like this, because he is normally very upbeat. He calls himself delusional, and he is a little bit, but that's part of his charm. So when he's like down about it, you can tell that he's not. Yeah. He's really down about it. Do you know what I mean? This isn't like Yeah. And people will say that I don't think it's been a great transfer window. I think Archie Gray, even after Solanke joins us, I think Archie Gray is still our best signing, for the record.
Yeah.
But I think that, rightly or wrongly, I think maybe we were led to believe that we were going to do something a bit more, and it's not transpired that way. Now, maybe that's my fault for having higher expectations, and maybe I shouldn't have.
Michael Lawn said he was going to listen to the podcast until you said Werner does his bit. He says, Werner is garbage, so I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Can't take this version in his good business and make sense. Happy clapper.
I take it that was before I joined, because I haven't even said.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm so far behind in the chat, but if he's calling me happy clapper, there you go. I'm happy clapping. Anyway.
Yeah, Cole's written in the chat. He's right. You're not allowed. Only I'm allowed an opinion, Dermo, not you. See, Cole's written there. He's right. You're not allowed one, Dermo.
Yeah, I'm so behind. I am actually going to go through all this chat. Where's Carl? Oh, yeah. The key is entitled to his opinion. But thanks. I'm now lost where I was now.
Sorry, mate. Go on. It's all you.
That's all right. Here we go. Terry White, in my opinion, we need to sell Kulu and get a proper winger. Do not tell Philip Brady that. Do not tell Mr. Brady. He'd be somewhere in Leitrim now reading that comment and actually jumping out of his seat and chucking tomatoes at the screen.
He could be driving or something. You don't want him reading that if he's driving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He could be chucking tomatoes at my screen for me. Brian said, I thought Eze wanted to decide it, but the law of Man City and sitting on the bench and getting paid thousands a week and scratching your ass appeals to him. So fair play to him. Liston Hines, big up Liston. He says, not too bothered by Neto to Chelsea. I'm not either. He rarely plays more than 15, 17 games a season. No reason it would be any different this season. Somebody did say in the chat earlier, hope he pulls his hamstring in his first game for Chelsea.
That's a bit harsh.
I find it funny. Boris is sticking to his gun. That's what I like about Boris.
I know he is.
Everyone says it's 65 minutes. Hey, that release clause, we're going to pay less than that. Yes, we are going to pay it less than that. I know that. You know that. Tequila knows that. The man in the moon knows that. And, Daniel Levy knows that. It's been another vintage Levy transfer window since Wembley won. We should all see it being a privilege to watch the master of complacency and incompetence work his craft so responsibly.
Big up, mate. I love it.
I do laugh at some of these. Some of these are brilliant. I have to say, brilliant.
You gotta have a laugh, Dan.
Yeah, Richie has work rate. Yeah, he does. And team ethic. He's just not an all-out striker that we need. Yeah, exactly. Mr. I let you do that one.
Should we still go in for Jonathan David? I think he can play attacking midfield as well and be a backup striker in that role. I'm more inclined now to go for him. Yeah, I wouldn't have been, because I wouldn't have been at the start. But nowadays, I'd be more inclined. Yeah, why not? We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, Marcus Edwards. There's another shout. Should we go for Edwards? I think so.
Because he was homegrown, he was trained by Tottenham, so that would help our homegrown stuff. Yeah.
Carl is saying Barca want Reggie, so offer him a swap deal for Rafinha. He has plenty of other wingers. That's not a bad shout, actually. That's not a bad shout.
Daniel's been playing FIFA like me. We've been playing FIFA.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I bought Bellingham for my Spurs EA Sports thing.
Anyway, I bought his brother. I bought Job Bellingham.
Yeah, he's good. Wayne Bergville is 18 for beep. He should be put under pressure. We should try and integrate him into the team. If he makes any mistakes, some fans start slandering him just so recruiting this crap. Daniela is very, very. Remind me never to piss Daniela off. Actually,
Daniela's on fire. She's not happy about
Solanke.
Fire. So.
Marcus Edwards, big up Dragon D nuts. Wayne sends out Denner. If he's good enough, then age is not an issue. More is proof of that. Exactly. Neto is not going to help Chelsea or for defense, and then inability to do high press. Then the manager wants LOL. Lennon was 16 when he started for Spurs. He was damn good. Age doesn't come into it. So
Lennon was great. Yeah,
it was. Has Lo Celso fallen off a cliff?
He might as well have.
He might as well have, yeah. I've got my own views on Lo Celso, so I'm going to say them tonight, actually. Colin Cross says the fans wanted Raya before Vic. Would they want him now? Just give Slinky. Dino, it's a very good point. When we bought Vicario, how many fans were slating us, Tottenham off for buying Vicario? And look what Vicario turned into be.
I didn't particularly want Raya either, to be brutally honest with you.
No, I didn't. I think didn't. But can you see the point he's trying to make? He's making a very good point here. We bought Vicario, Van de Ven.
Yeah, but we bought Vicario for quite a cheap price, and so this it's not Solanke's fault himself. Just like with Brendan Johnson, it's not his fault. And it's not his fault that Liverpool have a 20%, and that's also inflated the price by another 10 million. So it's not Solanke's fault. Well, I'm not blaming. Why would I blame him? But I'm just saying that I think that nobody would have chosen Solanke a year ago as our striker, and so we shouldn't lower our standards in that way. But nobody here controls this. If I'm with the person in the chat. Sorry if I don't remember who it was. If Ange really, really wants him, then that's the most important thing to me. Yeah, but we're allowed our opinions based on what we think of him, and I think it's massively underwhelming and not the best we could have done, in my personal opinion. No. That's it.
No pleasing you. There's no pleasing.
I am grouchy today because I'm ill. So there we are.
You're not grouchy. It's just no pleasing you. You're like Philip. You want pink M&Ms, and I can't give you pink M&Ms.
I just want my Jaffa cakes, mate, with pink frosted icing on it.
I've been on to our supplier for Jaffa cakes. You know who it is, and they're not.
I know she is. And if she's watching, she's got to get on it. She's got to start correcting.
Get on the case. Gary Becks, big up, Gary, my brother. How are you doing, sir? Great to see you in. Says Lanky's a quality signing. Mad if anyone thinks different. Neto to Chelsea is no big deal either, because now. Who's that now? Oh, yeah. Kubu. There's a player I'd love to get. Kubu. I'd love to get Kubu.
Oh, he's a great little player. He's a bit... My only worry with him is that he's a bit small, but he's a great little player.
He is a great little player. Bakayoko and Kubu are back in the... Eze could still happen, you know. It'd be so Tottenham to pull two rabbits out of the hat. Look what they did in Conte's first transfer window. They pulled out Kulu and Bentancur out the hat in the last few years.
But once your head's been turned by the millions of Man City, it's going to be hard to...
Would you really want to go there? You could be playing in League 2 next season.
Yeah, but if you probably saw his paycheck check, Derma, you'd be like, yeah, I got to go.
Money doesn't mean everything.
I never said it did, but
It
they've got
does.
short. They've
It
got
does
short.
for us.
They've got short careers. Footballers, they only get 15 years, so they're going to make them as much as they can.
Solanke is the second best striker of the top 6. Only Haaland has more goals. That's a statement. True though. It is true.
If Solanke would have done it over a period of several seasons, then I would not have a case to stand on. There's been other players who have done it for one season and you've never seen them again, or have not repeated it. Do you remember Kevin Phillips from Sunderland? He scored 31. He scored 31 Premier League goals one season.
Yeah.
Did any top 6 team ever come in for him?
No.
Okay.
You rest your case. We need a striker. We're getting one. Time will tell. Exactly. Big up to Chris Welsh. Only concern is how he fits into Ange's style of play. End of the day, he's a goal scorer. I'd be more concerned about your defending, to be honest. Needs to sort out badly. Yeah, it does. I agree with you. Dragon D Nuts. Ange won the Scottish League and with Joe Hart and Cameron Carter-Vickers. So very true. So very true. Carter-Vickers was a Tottenham reject. Went up there, won the league with Celtic. Matthew says, an average garbage player for 60 million. Yeah, I am done.
See, I'm not done. I mean, I understand where he's coming from. He's very emotional to say that. I'll never be done with Spurs, no matter how many players they buy that I don't agree with. But here we are. He's pissed off.
Yeah. Look. It's not 65 million. It's 30 million. And then you take the Emerson money we're going to get for Emerson.
No, it doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't work that way because that means you could have taken money off any player you buy because you've sold another one.
Well,
it doesn't work that way.
Isn't it not surprising we get one out when suddenly we buy one in?
Well, I assume that if Emerson is gone, is that official? Then Emerson's gone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Then I'm assuming that if the Jed Spence, then that makes him the backup right back. Then
it does. Yeah. Carl Simpson, looking forward to Solanke netting getting over 25 goals this season. It's true.
He's being cheeky. Carl's being a little cheeky with that comment. I can see his little face at the end.
No, I agree with it. You should be outraged, Dermot. 29 goals and 134 Premier League games for F's sake to replace Kane. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You back every player at the club. I don't care who it is. Exactly, Carl. Absolutely exactly.
Yeah.
I'd love to have. I'm numb to it, Tequila. That's the problem. I'm numb to it.
How are you numb to it?
I've been a supporter for 43 years. I'm numb to it now.
Here's a question for you then, Dermot.
You've been a supporter for how long? About 20 years?
It's about 27 years.
Yeah, you're still raw. You're going through that phase. Raw.
Who's the worst striker that we've ever bought? That you've had the worst feeling about ever? Come on, Dermot, just quickly. The worst striker who we've bought in, you thought to yourself, oh my God, who's the worst one we've ever bought in for you?
There's been a few. The Russian fellow for one.
Pavlyuchenko.
Yeah. Canute.
You thought Canute was bad? I loved Canute.
Chris Armstrong to replace. I thought when they bought Chris Armstrong to replace Jurgen Klinsmann was a bit bad.
Oh God, yeah, that Chris Armstrong. That was slightly before my time, but I remember just watching him just before he went. God, that was.
We had Jurgen Klinsmann and Teddy Sheringham banging in the goals, and then next year we bought Chris Armstrong. Andy Booth, I remember.
Yeah, my favorite was Andy Booth. Yeah.
Oh God, I was saying earlier. I'll say it the podcast tonight.
Okay.
I said about a month ago I rate Solanke and I signed them. So blame me. We're not blaming you, Greg.
Not blaming anyone.
Not blame you. If you're not a fan currently sat in the field having a break from listening from heavy metal all day, so stream might drop. Enjoy. Tell people about us. Tell everyone about us. That they're probably that drunk or high. They'd be subscribing to our channel. We'll be at 10K by the end of the weekend, Tequila. Greg, tell everyone about it at your heavy metal festival.
Hell yeah.
134 games. How many starts? Exactly.
Don't know. How many starts
I have done the stats for him, actually. So no one who matters is laughing. Not every signing has to be marquee. You've seen our history, but yeah, exactly. Absolutely, exactly. I think the best strikers we've bought in my lifetime was Gary Lineker back in the late 80s. Jurgen Klinsmann. Harry Kane fell into our lap because he came to our youth academy. And anyone says we didn't get lucky with Harry Kane, we damn well did get lucky with Harry Kane. Because Levy wanted to sell him for Leicester for 100 grand. And it wasn't for your man to keep him, and started him the next day. But he didn't start the ball. It took him a few seasons to get him scoring goals as well, by the way. And everyone thought after his first season, is he a one-season wonder?
I can't bring myself to give Tim Sherwood like any credit. Like I physically can't get the words out, don't I?
Yeah. Greg Sandlot says, how in the blue hell can you ever break from heavy metal? I'm still working that out. Took off ages ago. Wayne Bonner, because there's a gap between bands. Well, Greg, get us out there. Get people subscribing to the channel. Just go up to anyone. Just subscribe to this channel. Tell them Tequila is a heavy metal expert. Who is it?
I like the film Heavy Metal.
Yeah, exactly. Medical has been done for Solanke. It is. That's what I am hearing. We've got so many people come in. Greg Senna, now I've discovered all but culture. Big up, Wayne and Greg. We still need 2 or 3. Yeah, I think we're still going to get 2 or 3 in. We've got Chris. What's the point? Okay. You've spammed the conversation. You're a negative diver. Let others talk. Some sense. Everyone's entitled to their. Everyone's entitled to that. Chris, everyone's entitled to their opinion on here. But he does span the chat a little bit. We do give him that. But Chris, I do get your point. But everyone's entitled, like you are. Richarlison, 60 million. He's still going on about this, how much we've wasted. Right. Richarlison, 60 million.
He's right about. I mean, Johnson, I'd say you need to give him a bit longer. Kulu, I don't think was a waste of money overall. But Richarlison and Dombele, I kind of agree with him on those two.
Right. So. Okay. All right. Richarlison. Sort of.
Massively overspent on him.
Hang on. Richarlison, 30 million. Too much. Dombele, the biggest waste of money since football was invented.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing he's done well for the economy was KFC, McDonald's, the fish and chip shop, and the local burger van.
Uber Eats, Just Eat, stocks all went up.
Yeah. And the local burger van outside White Hart Lane. Brendan Johnson, I will back to the hills content. I will back him. Kulu, no way is he a waste. Brilliant signing. Got to find his right position, which is the centre in midfield, in my opinion. Brian Hill, it just didn't work for Puro, the fifth Beatle. It just didn't work for the fifth Beatle. I'm sorry. Segi, again, injuries got in the way. If we got the player that played at Fulham and then played in Germany, we've got a diamond, but injuries got in the way. Reguilon, I think Reguilon could still do a job for us, but...
Well, no manager has really fancied him for the last couple of managers.
Well,
None
apart
of them
from Conte and Mourinho.
Well, did Mourinho like him? Yeah, I suppose he did.
Matt Doherty. What can I say about Matt? I saw him once playing for Ireland, right? It's a true story. Dave Harris was with me and Ollie was with me, right? Now, Ireland is a cold place. We do have harsh winters, right? And in Dublin, there is a certain thing you don't wear gloves. I don't wear gloves when it's really cold here. Only if I have to. You know, you're Irish, you're hard, you're used to the weather, right? He come out, he's the only player wearing gloves. I give him dog's abuse for the whole game for wearing gloves. Right? To the point where you had to take them off. Now, Dave would tell you, he was next to me, he'd tell you, I gave him dog's abuse. I mean, that game was funny also. Some fat fella, no, I'm not saying fat, I'm fat myself, right? Some fella bigger than me and Dave, right, put together, tried to get on the pitch to do a streak, right? And he fell over the advertising board.
Did anyone capture that on camera? That would have been great.
No, but the problem was all the security guards were waiting for him to just jump on top of him.
That's because he probably took 10 minutes to get down there, Dermo, right?
It's so funny. And then they started throwing paper airplane. It was funny, but he wearing gloves was a joke. What's the point? Says to right, Dermot Richardson came to take a huge. I'm not reading that out. Why not sign over? Says Morgan.
Probably because of his attitude would be my answer to that, Morgan.
Yeah. Big up the side dancer. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, side dancer. We're better side Eze. Yeah, we're better side Eze.
Don't bet on it.
I wouldn't bet on it. Just had here we go for Solanke. See, we've beaten Romero. Again, when will people get into the heads? This is a channel of breaking news. We don't clickbait. We've never have done.
Need a slogan, dude. You've got to get a slogan like he has, and then anyone can repeat it.
I can't say here we go. It's about time.
It's about time.
No, that doesn't go. We have to come up with a slogan.
Think about it.
Again, we were first with Ange Postecoglou. We were first channel to break the Harry Kane news. Again, we did mention Solanke a couple of nights ago, I think, as well, by the way. That
actually, Dermo, I'll say this, is that about 2 months ago, our source, you know who I'm talking about, did say, keep an eye out for Solanke.
He did, and we did break it then.
Now, I don't think at that time Solanke, this is what I'm talking about. I don't believe for a second that Solanke was our top target. Other things have happened that made him our top target. I don't know exactly what. Is it Tony? Probably other things as well. It could be that Gimenez was on that list and then we've decided against it for whatever reason as well.
Yeah.
But Solanke was obviously in their jurisdiction. I don't think he was the first choice. I think that's pretty obvious. But he obviously maybe he was fifth on the list and that's the other four didn't want to come or changed your mind or whatever it was.
Salado, yeah, exactly. We're getting to the end there. Gary says, you all realise these players have a say to, right? It's not rock up and just sign. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Boris, big up Boris with the latest. It says Solanke, 55 million in total. He's in the same WhatsApp group as us and he's in touch with our source now. So Boris is giving this probably been sent to our private WhatsApp group. Solanke, 55 million in total, 10 in add-ons. That's 65 million. So 30 million is up front, including installments. Medical is scheduled for tomorrow. It's a 6-year contract. Okay. What's the point? Carl says, don't worry, people. We still get 3
really
players.
Sarcastic then, Dermo. I'm having to.
I know, yeah. Keep it to tonight. Keep it to tonight. Don't worry, people. We'll still get 3 players in on top of Solanke. I know it's stressful. Just hold firm. We will be okay. Exactly. 55 million. Oh, my days. It's 30 now, 27 over a period. Yeah, that's right. It is 30 now and then 27 installments over a 5-year period.
I don't understand that stuff. Sorry.
Here we go. Has arrived. Again, we're ahead of you guys. I don't look Fabrizio Romero should work for us. Seriously.
Oh God. No, damn. I mean, you'll get views, I guess, if that's what you want.
He should work for us. Again, we've beaten him. Again, we have beaten him. Mind you, we did beat him by the time we've that. I mean, that was taken at 4:55. We're now at 5:20. So we're a bit behind the chat.
Yeah, I understand, Boris, but that it doesn't make a difference to me. It's still unless the add-ons are performance related that he might not achieve, then the majority is it's still going to be way over what he's worth, even if not every single one of his add-ons. So I understand why you're bringing it up, but it doesn't make it sound any better to me. It's still money that eventually is going to be paid. Maybe not this year, but it eventually will come out of the same
I know we've read this one before, Takeda, but I still think it's funny.
You're not allowed. We know you're not allowed. We know you're not allowed.
Dragon Dina says, I'm sorry, Domo, you're not allowed an opinion. Only people who agree with me can have an opinion.
That's right. I understand.
Eze is off the table. Who said it? Who says it? It is. It's been Neto or Eze since the start. Neto now off the table. So Eze, let's see. That's true. Yes, get Eze in. Though where's Eze fits is beyond me. God, we've got so many. We're so behind Tequila. Here we go. Dermot has taken these happy pills. I love the optimism. I will join you there. Thank you. Why, David? We don't need another Cam. We have Madders, Gulu, and Bergville. So true. What's the point? Says, oh, dear Lord, YouTube has banned me from communicating for 23 hours, Dermot. I need to take anger management classes paid for by Daniel Levy. Of course, he paid for them for you.
YouTube has banned you for 24 hours.
Yeah.
What, as a whole? How have they done that?
I'll explain yesterday. I'd have to try.
Okay.
Well, Ornstein has come out and said Solanke was the number 1 pick, it seems. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Hi, Dermot. Big up Hot God 10. Everyone in the chat, big up Hot God. DJ says we need Eze, another left back and the centre back. That's true. We're so behind with the chat. Float me. Solanke is an excellent signing, says Hot God 10. Just need a left back, defensive midfielder, and a winger.
Each to their own.
Complete on the right. That will be a good window, in my opinion. Yeah, we are. Everyone says to replace Kane. No one can replace Kane, no matter what Van der Beek can. No, I am going to go into that, but I think it's a very good point. Talking about where strikers, we've got Fraser Campbell, which still gives me a shiver. Andy Booth, I'm still can't believe we did that deal. Armstrong and Teddy outscored Teddy and Jurgen. Oh, did they? He didn't do well the following season. Biggest letdown was it was actually.
You didn't think Zamora was a letdown? He scored all those goals in the championship. We signed him. I think he scored 3 goals for us, maybe, if that.
Hear me out. What about Zaha? Yeah, just no. Gary's just saying no. Big up to Gillian. Big up Gillian. Rescam by far worst striker starting out. Super Pav. Look, Pav was never my striker.
He had a cult following, did Pav though, mate?
He did actually. He really did. I just couldn't get on board with it, but he did have a cult following. Sojuderma, I wasn't in Ireland that night. I know you weren't. Big up to Wilton McDonald, the legend that is Mr. McDonald. The man that's seen it all, Tequila, from the 50s onwards.
Yeah, he's been around.
This man is such a legend. I keep telling the same story. He chucked a TV out of a window when Ian Walker made a mistake. I mean, that for me is a legend in itself.
I hope it was one of those cheapy TVs and not like a expensive one.
Okay. We've got Carl saying, that 70-80 was Kane was up front, not Solanke. Wilton. I don't think we're going to sign any players that Ange will not work with. I'm happy if Ange is happy. Julian, please, Dermot, please don't welcome Solanke signing. As Sam through his detailed analysis showed Solanke's stats pads against lower teams. Levy has once again buried our future. We're discluded. Well, we have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, no, I think what Julian's saying is that most of his goals, Savin must have done a show on most of his goals coming against the lesser teams. That's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah. I haven't seen the show.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But that is it. That is the show. It's only supposed to be a 10-minute show. It ended up being an hour and 5 minutes, Tequila.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself but come on and give my 10 cents for whatever they're worth.
We are back on tonight at 9 o'clock. We will go into a bit more detail. There's me, Tequila, and Boris tonight. No fear.
I think me and Boris are not going to agree on the Solanke thing, but we'll see what happens tonight.
We'll see. I've done a little bit of read. I'm now going to go and have a cup of tea and cup of tea and a slice of toast. But on that bombshell, I am going to welcome Solanke to Spurs. Welcome to Spurs.
Oh, welcome to Spurs. I hope you do well. Prove me wrong. I'll be happy if you prove me wrong.
And that's it. All we can do is come on, you Spurs, and in Big Ange, read trust.
Guys.